Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 161st episode of the Meeple Dungeon podcast. As always, I am Rob.
And I'm Anna Marie.
And a couple weeks ago when we recorded the last episode, it was just a couple days after my birthday, I think. And I talked about a game that I got for my birthday.
Yes.
On that episode. Well, I have another one to talk about. So we have, and I've been wanting to talk about it for the last couple weeks, but we haven't been able to record. But here we are. So we are going to do some new to the collection, including that game, which is kind of like a grail game for me, which is really awesome. Mm-hmm. And then we have some
a
crowdfunding to look at, and then a review at the end. Also, we found out a couple days ago that Norm from Cardboard Conjecture will be joining us at FalCon this year, and he's going to be bringing his. So it's not so much Cardboard Conjecture anymore.
No,
I think that's kind of on hiatus, but he's been like hyper focused on his Wood Geek Studios stuff, which he's going to be showcasing there, I believe, and he's going to have all his, and he makes all sorts of wooden gaming table accessories, exactly, dice trays, and he's got dice jails too. Yeah. So if there's some dice that you're hating, you can throw them in there and lock them in jail. And all that, like D&D screens and all sorts of stuff, which we are outfitted with here with a bunch of his like early stuff from before he even started really doing the promoting it anyway. Yeah. So our table and all of our bits and pieces are all from him. But yeah, that'll be cool to see him there. And so you'll be able to see us there with Norm at FalCon in Calgary in 3 months or so. Yeah. Less than 3 months.
May, June, July. Well, just over 3 months.
Just over? Yeah. Oh, I guess it's mid-June. Okay. Or, mid-August. Yeah. Right? So, yeah, that makes sense. About 3 months. About 90 days away. But yeah, that'll be fun. We're excited to go to that again.
Very excited, yes.
Yeah. So we have some new to the collection. Like I was saying, this game, I'm going to go first here, I think, with the new to the collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
This game is a game that came out in 2014. Or 2015, sorry. Yeah. And the reason I like this game so much, and I've been looking for it for so long, is in 2014 was a movie called The Grand Budapest Hotel from Wes Anderson. So Wes Anderson, you might not know, but he's a writer-director and has made some of my favorite movies, including that one. The Grand Budapest Hotel I just absolutely loved that movie with Ralph Fiennes, and just Wes Anderson's style of movies is just such a unique thing that I just love. And then a year later came out not the Grand Budapest Hotel, but the Grand Austrian Hotel. Right. And that's the game I'm talking about. That comes from Lookout Games. This one, and designed by Luciani and Gigli. This one is a game I've only played like twice. And I played this it was before COVID. So it was probably in like 2016, 2017 was the first time I got to play this game. And I absolutely loved it because the whole time I was playing it, it just made me think of the Grand Budapest. And it was just, I loved everything about this. But then it wasn't in print that I could find forever. And it finally came available. And I got a copy for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier. I really want to play. This is one of my favorite games of all time. Because this game,
I haven't played it.
I know. You are going to love this game.
This is such a bad theme.
It's a great theme.
No, I don't mean of the game.
Oh.
I mean the games that you've played that I haven't.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
No, I think that's you. I remember you talking about it, and I'm like, I want to play that.
This game has stuck in my mind for almost a decade.
Yeah.
And I haven't had it, and no one here has. I think Aaron might have it, but I never ever think to ask about it. I think he might be the only one that has it.
If he still has it.
If he still does. I'm not even sure. I'm sure he wouldn't have got rid of this. I'd be crazy. Aaron, if you're listening to this, I think you'd be crazy if you got rid of this game. There's no way he did. If he has it. Whoa, I almost dropped it. But either way, Grand Austria Hotel. Here's a little bit of the theme, just so you understand what we're doing. Right in the thick of the Viennese modern age, exquisite cafes are competing for customers. Inspiring artists, important politicians, and tourists from all over the world are populating Vienna and are in need of a hotel room. This is your opportunity to turn your little cafe into a world-famous hotel. Hire staff, fulfill the wishes of your guests, and gain the Emperor's favor. Only then will your cafe become the Grand Austria Hotel.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I just love the theme of hotels and guests coming in. There's also this game I used to play on my cell phone back in the day. It was called Tiny Towers.
Okay.
And it was basically like running a hotel. It was kind of like a with these little people that are just wandering around, and you're constantly having to make like the guests happy and whatever, and you're hiring staff and stuff. Something for whatever reason, I just love that theme. Yeah. And it's so cool.
You're a strange one sometimes.
I know. I don't know. I don't know what it is about hotels, but I think they're really, really cool. Yeah. And that movie, Grand Budapest, is just so good. If you haven't seen it, you should, because it's fantastic. So I am super happy about Grand Austrian Hotel.
Absolutely.
What do you have over there?
Over here, I have Recall.
Yeah.
And this one, designed by, forgive me, Helga Meissner, Christian Amundsen, Ostby, Kjetil Svensson, and Anna Wormland.
A bunch.
Art by Germain Debone and Reese Keefe. And published by, don't know, is it Allion?
Yeah, we were talking about that just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so I don't
before we started recording. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Pronounce this,
but it kind of looks like it's a lion.
Yeah.
Or a sort of a bearish lion.
But it's so yeah. I'm gonna go with a lion game.
Sure.
And this one, Recall is a deep strategy game from the designers of Revive that focuses on engine building and exploration. Each player begins the game with one of 14 unique tribes and one of 18 unique gadgets, both of which will heavily influence your strategy and opportunities. Throughout the game, you will lead your tribe, explore the lands, and discover traces of ancient civilizations to learn from them. So this one, it has probably one of the most striking covers.
Yeah.
Like, just that eyeball is... Everything is like gray, and then the eye. And
yep.
Like, whew,
I would take this box. I would buy this game just with the artwork.
Yeah, and it's and Revive. We recently got that, and we haven't been able to play it yet. And that's one that I was super interested in.
Yep, it's the same designer.
Yeah.
That did Revive, and we got did we get Revive at Falcon?
Maybe.
I think we did. I think we might have. I think we got it at the auction.
So recently.
So it was
last year.
Last August we got a copy of it. We haven't played it yet, but
we say all the time we just need to retire so we can just play games all day.
Speaking of that, did you see the Mr. Beast thing?
No.
So Mr. Beast did this.
I don't see anything unless you show me.
Okay. He did this thing on X, Twitter, where he put a tweet.
Oh, you did tell me about this.
Oh, okay. He's like, if after 24 hours, if only one person is the sole liker of that tweet, though, he will give them $1 million.
Yeah.
So I liked it, and then I pled my case. So I was like, we could retire and do board gaming content and yada yada yada. But then it was like, I don't know, 1 million people liked it. So it kind of went out the window. But I tried.
Can you imagine the first person putting that like on there and be like, please don't put any like, right? Please no more.
I put the single like, please nobody. And that was like 1 million people.
Yeah.
So whatever. I tried.
That's funny.
But yeah, that is true. If we retired, I'd be playing a couple games a day.
Oh yeah.
Really? Like.
But
because we have quite the shelf of shame, to be honest.
It's the shelf of opportunity. Not the shelf of shame.
Yeah, and that's on it. That's high on the list because I kind of want to play Revive before we play Recall.
For sure, me too.
Yeah,
but it's just everything too. The components look good. It looks colorful and bright, and
it does.
And it sounds really cool. Like you can go into different things, and I'm excited, exploring and learning, and I think that cover just drew me in. Yeah,
it looks great.
So much. So that is...
And Revive apparently was... a lot of people loved it.
And this one is pretty highly rated as well. So I'm hoping that it's good. It's they say it's best at 3.
Okay.
And it's pretty heavy, like 3.65.
Yeah, okay.
About an hour and a half, I think.
Well, maybe we'll pair those games together maybe and do like one in 1 week and then the other the next
Revive
week or something.
Recall. Yeah. Absolutely. But that's my new to the collection is
cool.
Recall.
Well, that's it for New to the Collection, because we have crowdfunding we want to take a look at. You want to head over there?
I do.
All right, let's go. Alrighty then, here we are at the crowdfunding segment of the episode. And before we talk about this, there's something I forgot to tell you in the beginning.
Okay.
That two things that happened today.
Me or them? Or both?
You.
Okay.
You and them listening.
I guess.
Because it's interesting it's really interesting for us in particular.
Oh, okay.
But two things happened today. So if people don't know, I'm a city worker. I'm like a municipal worker. And I'm specifically like a parks kind of guy.
Right.
And
I knew that.
Yes. Yes. But I don't know if I've probably mentioned it here and there, but that is what I do. Horticulture type stuff.
Right.
And today I was in one of our parks, and we were planting a whole bunch of annuals and flowers and things. And I was there on my knees in this bed working on it, and these two ladies, I don't know, they're probably like late 20s or something like that, both pushing strollers, were walking kind of through the courtyard where I was working, and I could hear them talking, and could hear the one girl say that something about her and her husband are really getting into board games. I was like, and I could just hear them.
Oh, that's a fun conversation.
That. Yeah. And she was asking her friend if she played them or not or whatever, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I've always liked them or whatever." And she's like, "Have you heard of the Meeple dungeon?"
No way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, wait a second. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and then I really started listening as they walked by. And they're like, there's this couple from somewhere here local, I think she said, like in Kelowna or whatever. We're in West Kelowna, but it doesn't really matter.
Little did they know.
Yeah. And they do a podcast, like a local podcast, and they talk about games like every week about a new thing. And she's like, I listen to them all the time and then I get ideas from there. And I was like, no way. And I was sitting right beside them.
Oh, that's so cool.
As they were kind of walking by, and then they sat on a bench and they were talking about some stuff, and then they were changing one of the kids or whatever. And then they carried on. I was like, oh, that's super neat. And I was just sitting right beside, I was 20 feet away from them or something.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty funny.
That's really
cool. And then
cool.
they walked away talking about board games, and I don't know, they were talking about...
It'd be a good conversation.
Which she was talking about a particular game. I can't remember which one now. Something we just reviewed in the last couple weeks. But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting. Because it's the first time I've heard people like that in the
public, general public,
general public that's not at a board game something. These are just two people walking with strollers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty interesting, and I didn't say anything. I felt like that'd be kind of weird if
you should have been like, "Hi, I'm Rob."
Yeah, I decided to not be a weirdo. So if you're actually those girls are probably listening right now. I assume. Oh, one of them anyway. So if that was you, there you go. I was in that flower bed there working. So the other weird thing that happened was I picked up our youngest boy today, and then on my way to getting the older guy, he asked me a weird question. He's like, "Hey, do you guys sell Meeple Dungeon shirts?" I was like, "No, I mean we have them. Like we have them. Why? Yeah. Why do you ask?" And he's like, "Because he's like, when we were going to their friend's house the other day or whatever, he's like, there was a guy jogging beside us as we were driving wearing a Meeple Dungeon shirt."
Oh, we were driving and they mentioned that. I'm like, I don't think so, sweetheart.
Oh, I don't know.
But I didn't see it, so they might have.
I don't know. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm pretty sure it was. Because, I mean, we have the shirts around the house and stuff, right? And I was like, well, we have given away quite a few of them.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And those have been at like conventions. Yeah. So like they could be for anyone from anywhere. Yeah, but he said like it was in West Kelowna. He said he saw someone jogging with one on. I was like, oh, that's funny. So those two things in one day. We don't get that very often, so I thought I should mention that. But yeah, we have back to the crowdfunding. So we're in a crowdfunding segment right now. Not our
Yeah, not our new to the collection
stuff or whatever I was talking
new,
about.
Interesting things.
Yeah, we have a cool one, a real cool one to talk about. This one's over on Gamefound. This is a game that was on one or both of our most anticipated lists.
I think so.
I think it was certainly on yours.
Yeah.
Because I think because I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
What game are we talking about?
Restart. We are talking about Restart. This is from Teetotum Game Studios. And I'm going to try a game by Vangelis Eftimu and Antonis Yiannopoulos, and art by Evan Scale. And I got to say, Evan Scale, if you did the cover art, well
Looks
done.
Pretty cool.
That, again, just like Recall, we were talking about this cover.
Yep.
I would
like instantly purchase this with just the cover alone.
Yeah. That cover, I was like, that looks like some time travel, time bending thing. And then
that's exactly what this game is. Mm-hmm. So Restart. Okay, let me get to the thing here.
I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah. I love time travel stuff, right? It's a great theme.
I love it.
And to see it in a board game would be very interesting. It says here that Restart is a competitive, tactical, time travel themed engine building game. In the near future, humanity collapses into a dystopia. In a last-ditch effort, scientists invent brain-connected nanochips, of course, that they could be the biggity bop, whatever it could be. They could call it whatever you want, right?
Whatever, yeah.
The flux capacitor, right?
But we call it.
Yeah, but
the brain connected
nanochips is what we got here that we're dealing with, that allow travelers to move through time and alter events. Mm-hmm. However, rival alternative futures clash, and the prosperity of one means the ruin of another.
Yeah.
Will you save your future? The game unfolds across 3 timelines: the past, the present, and the future.
Oh, so cool.
Each player controls a time traveler and their younger past self, and has a personal mind board. Then you do stuff.
Yeah.
But so from what we can tell, this game, you are literally controlling yourself in the past and the future, and you're altering things, and that switches the way things work for you, past and present. And then I guess you can also travel back and cross paths with yourself, but you have to be careful on how you do that.
Because it's time travel. Of course, you have to be careful that you don't cross paths with yourself. Everybody
so all that
knows
stuff sounds really cool. And the cool thing here is that there's kind of 4 different scenarios that you can deal with. One is the
like pandemia, like you're in there's a deadly virus.
Yeah, the virus. Exactly.
So you're researching the virus to find a cure and save humanity.
Right.
And then Anomi, so it's a dystopia that immerses you in a world without laws.
Right.
So you influence senators to vote just laws. Oh man, I don't know what just
reestablish
happened.
democracy. And then there's one called the Extinction. So you get to you basically pick one of these scenarios. You can do Pandemia, about the virus. You can do Anami, which is about basically no laws and trying to influence government. Another one called Extinction, where you examine human chromosomes to fight human infertility.
Yeah.
And then
Ocean
Rise. Yeah, and that one's it says expanding nature to enclose areas and restore balance.
So that's a future world of a flooded Earth.
Yeah, so you pick one of those, and then you're dealing with that calamity, that horrible situation, and you're using time travel to try and fix it.
Yeah.
I'm all in. This sounds fantastic.
Oh. Yes.
And I believe this was on your most anticipated.
100%.
And it would have been on mine, because this looks super duper duper good. There's 7 days left to go on this one. Currently on Gamefound. There are only basically 2 options for you when you are going to back this one. Let me get to it. There is the one that. So they call it the deluxe. So the Restart Deluxe box, which is basically the lowest end version of this game you can get.
Yep.
€77, includes all of Restart's gameplay content, plus all unlocked stretch goals and related to the deluxe box. €77. So we're talking like $110, $120 Canadian, probably, or more. And then there's the other one here, which is the Restart Deluxe Big Bundle, which is €109 currently. It includes all Restart's gameplay content, every expansion, because there's 2 expansions, I think, for it. Which is just different scenarios, I believe.
€77 is 123 Canadian. And then what's that
109.
109 is $175.
Plus shipping. That'll make this a $200 game if you go that route. But it says it includes all Restart gameplay content, every expansion, which I believe there's 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think there are 2.
All content offered through the add-ons, which is like
sleeves and art, a dice tray.
Dice tray, yeah. Exactly. And unlock stretch goals, obviously, except for the Jacob and Sophie miniature pack, which we are getting because I followed this. I do this all the time. Basically, anytime I see a Gamefound project that is upcoming, it'll say follow this for a free gift. I'm like, sure. If I find it even remotely interesting, I follow it. And then for this one in particular, you end up getting the minis of Jacob and Sophie, these 2 characters, for free. Yeah, as a free gift. So we're getting those, and so I believe. I mean, as much as I'd love to get that one with all the stuff, I don't think this needs to be a $200.
No, I think this game looks amazing on its own, just in that. Yeah.
So I think we're probably going to lean that way towards that €77, $120 version of this game, but we are going to get it 100%.
Oh yeah.
This one is not going to go past us.
No, that is a must.
Yeah, sounds too cool. We both really love the theme. I'm very curious to see how this works because it sounds super interesting. 7 days left on Gamefound is Restart.
Right now it is the 7th, so it'll be May 14th.
Yep.
At some point.
And it's Teetotum Game Studios.
Yes.
But yeah, sounds really cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Yeah. So that is Restart.
Yeah. And we don't know how it works, really. No. There's not a lot to tell you exactly. I mean, you can read through things, but it seems fairly intricate. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it sounds really cool. Very excited for Restart. And if you are too, you should go check it out on Gamefound. But
agreed.
We do have a review to do. Want to head over there?
I do.
All right, let's go. Alrighty then, here we are at the final segment of the episode where we're doing another Meeple Dungeon review. And what are we reviewing today, Anna Marie?
Today we are reviewing Eternal Decks, designed by Hirokin, art by Mujunsha, and published by Pixie Games.
You betcha. Eternal Decks. So this game was ultra popular last year in 2025. It's particularly
towards the end, I think,
in the latter half or quarter of the year last year. Is because I think this came out at Essen or something like that, where people were able to get able to get copies of it. We obviously never were able to until now, but and even though our copy is not English, it is the French edition. So
this time we knew we purchased the French edition, not like the last one we did.
Because this is a card game and it's kind of abstract-y, so it's just basically a lot of symbols and numbers.
Most of the time with card games, it's like a quick rule book, and it's there's no writing on the cards. We were like, oh cool, there's no writing, so that'll be fine.
There's a few words on here that we have the French word versus the English word, but overall this game is identical to what the English game would look like, except for the rule book. And the rule book, being that this is a card game, you'd think, how bad can it be?
It wouldn't be that heavy.
No, it's like 70 pages.
It is so big,
and it is wild. So we thought that we would just print off a quick whatever and we'd have the rule book. No. We decided not to do that because it would just we'd run out of ink printing this thing.
Right.
So we've had the English rule book up because they're on BGG.
You can link to it. Yeah.
There's a link on there that you can read it, the English version, and it's a doozy. Because it
not that it's bad, not a doozy in that way, just that it's long.
It's very, very long, and there's a lot to understand in this game, and so it's been a bit of a chore that we've had to look at the screen and look back and look at the screen and scroll up and scroll down, rather than because we just didn't want to wait to get the English version of this game
because you couldn't get the English version.
No, only the French version is available.
Yeah.
So, that being said,
yes,
we learned this game through a rule book on a screen that was like 1 billion pages long. And so I don't think I'm going to mess up any rules here. But if I do, I apologize, because it's been a bit of a tricky situation trying to learn the game. So this game is a what do I call it? Abstract card game.
Yes.
But what's the theme? What are we dealing with here?
Right. Eternal Decks is a cooperative, limited communication board game themed around eternal cycles, in air quotes, where players act as explorers attempting to uncover the mystery of humanity's shortening lifespan.
Right. Sure. So there you go. That's the theme. But so we'll come back to the theme later. But so how does this game work? The game has doesn't have a board. It has a roll out fabric board, which actually allows this to compact into a fairly small box. Because if this board was an actual board, it would be we need a much bigger box.
Yeah.
It's a fabric board, and it's got kind of all these different sections on it for where cards are going to end up going to. So the way it kind of works is at the top of the board is a bunch of sections for where you're going to end up putting cards that you kind of defeat.
Your Eternals.
Yeah, the Eternals. So let's start with the Eternals. Every game you play, you're going to have 9 Eternals, and each Eternal has its own deck of cards.
Well, at least 9. There could be 9. More.
On average, you're having 9 Eternals.
We're going to caveat this. So you play like level A, B, C, D, E, like F. So, and there are decks A, B, C, D. There are different decks. So when there are a whole bunch of different scenarios in the game. That's the thing. You can't explain everything. It's just going to be basic kind of setup.
There is so when you first play the game, there's basically a learning scenario.
Yeah, the beginner one is the A
that
stage.
One you're going to have 9 Eternals set up for that one, but then each stage after that, A, B, C, D, E, whatever, they all switch up. The amount of Eternals you have, which ones you're going to use, how many are in this row, how many are in that row.
Yeah.
Different rules for them. So that's what you're going to do. So,
and I'll say for the beginner in the stage A, it's unique. In that one, you're trying to gain stars to complete and win the game, but
that just teaches you the basic rules of the game.
But after stage A, after the beginner, you're not trying to get those stars anymore. Then you're trying to collect the keys.
Well, each scenario is going to have its specific different win condition. So what you're going to do is just select a scenario, and then you're going to set out your Eternals. So each Eternal comes depending on what the scenario tells you, which ones you're going to use.
What level it is, what deck it is.
You're going to take the Eternal with its deck, and you're going to put it into there's these kind of 9 main spots. And again, you're going to end up putting Eternals in other spots, but generally there's these 9 spots on the table that are in these 3 rows, 3 in the top row, 3 in the middle row, and 3 in the bottom row, all towards the right-hand side of the board. Once you have those set up, then each one of them has a deck of cards underneath them of about 8 or something cards. Doesn't matter. Yeah, little deck of cards underneath each one.
The top card, you always put the Eternal on top, and it'll show you what cards are in the deck. Yep. So you'll see what colors, what numbers, any special cards, and it'll also show you what their what's it called? What they're going to hinder you with.
Yeah, because each one of these, there's good things you're going to get from them and bad things you're going to get from them. But you're going to set up your Eternals, and then you're going to then set up the basic rules for that particular scenario. And then you're going to have given 3 cards. The scenario is going to dictate to you that you use this card in row 1, this card in row 2, and this card in row 3. And what those cards are going to do is going to tell you the different rules for that row that you're going to have to deal with.
You just have to satisfy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Each round. So you're going to have those kind of rule cards set up, and then at the bottom of I should say that's kind of happens in the middle of the board. You're going to have your rule card on the far left. You're going to have a whole bunch of empty spaces, and then you're going to have your Eternal cards to the right. And you're going to have 3 of those rows set up. At the bottom is called called the river. And that's where you can kind of discard cards that you don't want, and you can discard them there for a while but you don't want to go too many because there's going to be consequences for that.
Right.
So what you're going to do is you are going to have your own starting hand of cards, and they are
You have different colors. You have red, blue, green, and yellow.
Yeah. And they have numbers in them.
1 through 9.
Mm-hmm. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the red deck, for instance. You're going to have, when you set up in a 2-player game, so I pick the red deck, and then you pick the blue deck. And then I'm going to get a couple of either the green deck, and you're going to get a couple of the yellow deck, something like that. So we're going to have a whole hand of cards to work with at the beginning of the game.
I said 1 through 9, but you don't actually get 1 through 9 in your hand because you don't get that many cards.
No, you don't have
5
that
cards.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have 1 through 5.
You have 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get some random cards given to you from the other colored decks. It's all in all in the setup. You'll be able to read about it. And the way it's going to work though is you're going to have suited colored cards in your hand. And each one of them is going to have a number associated with it. And what you're going to have to do on your turn is play a card down onto the board from left to right in those open spaces between the rule card and the Eternals cards.
Yeah, in the 3 rows.
At the end. So you're going to be building a line of cards out from left to right between the two until you've filled the entire row with cards. And what you're going to have to do, though, is you're going to have to look at the different rules for the 3 different rows. And you can play into any one of these rows. It doesn't matter which one. But you're going to look at it. For instance, the one I have in front of me is one of the rows. You have to put cards down in ascending order. So you would have to put them from, and the cards go from 1 to 9. You would have to play cards in that row in ascending order. So if I put down a 2... the 1 is no longer available. Neither of us can play a 1 in that row
and you
because the
play
rules won't allow that.
And you couldn't play a 2 because you've already played the 2.
Right.
So
it has to be a 3.
Ascending, yeah.
And then also there can be extra things like you can maybe that you can only play purple cards in that row, which purple cards we'll get to later because they're like special cards. But the main suits are blue, yellow, red, and green.
Yeah.
But in that row, maybe you can play. For instance, it could tell you all the cards in this row that you play here have to be all the same as the first card played. So if I put down a green 2 in that particular row, and with these particular rule setups, you would have to play either green cards or purple cards, because purple cards can be
like a wild almost.
Yeah, they can be kind of like Trump, sort of, where they can kind of go in anywhere. Like they don't need to.
Also known as wild.
Yeah, but a little bit different because there's wild cards.
Yes, I know.
Because you still have to follow the number of the purple card. But yeah, similar.
Like the purple cards, semi-wild.
Yeah.
Then you have
the purple cards can be acquired from doing other things. But basically, you have to follow the rules of that card. So we'd have to go in ascending order, and with that particular one, if I started with green, we'd have to go green the whole way,
right?
Unless you used a purple card. And then the one below it could be, just for argument's sake, the reverse. It could be you have to go in descending order, and you can just do any number, let's say, because there's a whole bunch of different rule cards, okay?
Yeah.
And then the bottom one below that could be a different one. There's one called the campsite that you can use, and that one just allows you to play anything.
Yeah, there are 2 basic rules throughout the entire game, unless something specifies otherwise. But you can never play the same color beside each other.
No.
And you can never play the same number beside each other.
Right.
So that's for all of them. And then they'll just add things on top of it, right? So, but with that, so for that camp one, that's
make you ascend or descend or certain colors or whatever.
But the camp one just like that follows the basic 2 rules.
So I could put a 3 yellow, you could put a red 5, but then I could put a 3 green next to it because it's not the same number and it's not the same color. Right. So I could go backwards if I wanted to. That's with that campsite card. But the rest of them are usually like you must go a certain way with these cards and follow a very specific set of rules. So on your turn, you're going to be playing a card down onto the board, following the sets of rules. And you may have a great card to play and be like, well, that row is going from 1 to 9 in ascending, and I've got a 1 in my hand, so I'm going to put that down. Great. But if you had like the cards in your hand were like 5 and up, you probably don't want to play there. So you're going to look for a better place to play it. And there's always going to be 3 different areas that you could play in to follow 3 different sets of rules. So hopefully you can find a place for your card to play.
And if you ever can't play a card where you're like, ooh, I'm going to mess this up totally and we won't be able to finish that, or it won't work, you can play your card to the river.
Right. And that's at the very bottom of the board. And that's a very simple thing. It's just a place for you to collect cards that you don't want to play into the 3 main areas. And as it goes down, you're going to place down 5 river cards, and once a 5th river card is played, then the person actually gets a reward.
Yes.
And they get a
river rare card.
A river rare card, and that goes into your hand, and that becomes a pure wild card, and that thing can be used for you, whatever.
And then the river, put it in the discard pile.
Yeah.
And you start.
And then the river is wide open to be used again, and you can do that up to for most game types. It depends on the
scenario.
Different scenarios, but overall you can do that.
You'll have a few river rare cards times, and then a game over card.
Yeah, so you can do it up until you would have to take the game over card. So you can continue to use the river to your advantage, but you don't want to use it too much, because if you use it too much, you're going to get ever so close to that game over card.
Yes.
And then you have to be very, very careful, because if you have to draw that card, you lose.
Yes.
But so what are you trying to do, though? You're trying to fulfill those rules from left to right until you've filled the row, and then you've kind of filled all the areas in between the rule card and the Eternals. And once you've done that, you've now unlocked an Eternal, and you get to choose which of those Eternals you want to unlock from that row. You don't have to take the one that it's closest, like the leftmost. You could take any of the 3, or however many might be in that particular row.
Right.
And you get to take that Eternal, and what you do
and you get to take it knowing what cards are in that deck.
Yeah, because it shows you on the top card with the Eternal. So actually, I should tell you what they are. There's a bunch of them. I've got a few in front of me here. There's a Phoenix, there's a King, there's a Mummy, there's a Skeleton, a Siren, Medusa, Kraken, things like that. Vampire, Minotaur, and so forth. Yeah. So those are the different types of Eternals you're going to do. So you'd pick one. For instance, I could pick the Skeleton. And it tells me on the top card, like the Skeleton card, exactly what cards are underneath him that come with the Skeleton deck. And I take a look at that, and I have to judge, looking at the Eternals that are available to me, to say which one of these makes sense for me to take now.
Yeah, what's going to help me fill up these rows to unlock more and to do what we need to do.
Because depending how far along you are in your round or your particular scenario, those cards can make or break you, depending on which one you unlock first. So you have to take a good look at that and be like, well, this one has yellow and a few purple cards in it. And those are going to be very helpful for me right now. So I'm going to take those. And what you do, though, is that the Eternal itself gets flipped over and put face up to the top of the board. And that's where all the Eternals start collecting up there, the ones that you've kind of unlocked. And then you put that Eternal up at the top of the board from left to right. There's a whole bunch of spaces up there for them. And you put it in the leftmost spot. And 2 things are going to happen here now. You're now going to take the cards that were underneath that particular Eternal, and you're going to put them on the bottom of your deck.
Yes.
Just as is, underneath your deck. And now they're going to become available to you eventually. Once you go through your deck, then you're going to start going into your Skeleton cards, right? But the Skeleton, when you put them up on the top of the board, is going to have an adverse problem that you're going to have to deal with. For instance, the Skeleton, you cannot play the numbers 2 or the number 8.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's the rule. That's a new rule that has been
for the entire game. Like not just for the one row that you unlocked it on, but for all rows.
No longer can you and your friends play 2s and 8s unless you deal with the Skeleton.
Yeah, the only place you could play those would be into the river as throwaway cards.
Yeah, you could do that, but you can't play them into the 3 rows as part of the rules.
Yeah.
But the good news is you can deal with those Eternals by doing a few different things. And what you have to do is at the top left corner of the board, there's a little legend there with, depending on your player count, there's going to be some X amount of jewels available to you and rules on how to get those jewels. And what the jewels do is every time you unlock a jewel, you can then place it over top of that like, bad thing.
It's almost like that curse or something.
Yeah, curse. That's what they're called. You can place that jewel on top of the curse and cover up that bad thing. And now you can play 2s and 8s again. So there's a few ways you can do that. On your turn, you could discard any 2 cards. In a 2-player game.
And these are going into the river.
Yep, you discard any 2 cards into the river. Boom, you gain a diamond, and then you can put that and get rid of that curse from any of the Eternals that are available.
Yep.
Any of those ones that are collecting on the top of the board. There's another one where you can discard 3 cards. There's one where you can discard any equal 3 colored cards, any unequal 3 colored cards, any 2 of the same numbered card, any 3 of the same numbered cards, and also the combination of a 1, 5, and 9. You could unlock these diamonds, and you could put them on top and get rid of the curse of that particular pesky Eternal that's causing you grief.
Yes.
So yeah, on your turn, that's what you're going to do. You're going to play a card down into one of the 3 rows following the rules that are on the left-hand side of that row. And you are then going to draw up to your hand limit at the end of your round, because depending on how your round went, you may have discarded some cards to gain some diamonds, but then you draw all the way up to 5.
It's 3. You draw your hand size is 3.
3, not 5. Hand size of 3.
Yeah. You start with your 5.
Yeah. You draw up to 3, and then you pass to the next player. And then you're working together to do this, but you have to do this with very limited talking.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you that, I've got this number and I've got that number and I've got the red 9 and the green 5 and we're going to do this, and then if you do that and then I'm going to do this. You can't do that.
No.
But you do have these 2 communication discs that you can put out, and basically that's kind of like a reserve token. So if I see a spot that I know I really, really, really need to go to in order to make my hand kind of work, I can put that disc out on that spot, and that lets your friends know, they need to play there.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and you have 2 of them at your disposal to use.
And they're not like a one-time use. You can use it, and then you can take it
back
and use it again, and take it back and use it again. So like they're not, it's
just limited,
not a one-time thing.
No.
And so you can play a card to one of the rows. You can play a card to the river, or you can give a card to another player. So you have, beside one of the Eternal rows, you have these 3 hearts.
Yep.
And so it's basically 3 times you could give a player 1 card.
Yep.
And you face down, give it to them. Basically, it's like, that, maybe they only have 1 card left, or they're going to run out, and that would end the game. And so you're like, gotta give you a card. I have 1 here. So you can do that up to 3 times. And then there are some bonus cards that might let you get some of those hearts back.
Right.
But those are the 3 main things you'd be doing.
Yeah. So you do this going back and forth, playing a card, filling your hand, playing to the river, gaining diamonds, covering up Eternals, curses that are active, and you want to deactivate them because those get out of hand quickly. The more Eternals you unlock, but if you don't, it's great when you unlock a bunch of Eternals and you're getting lots of cards and you're getting closer to winning. But if you don't deal with their curses, they handcuff you entirely.
Yes.
And you basically, it's like, well, I can't play anything but 3s now because we haven't dealt with any of the curses, right? And then you lose. So you have to, there's a fine line of balancing act thing that you have to do here by unlocking them and then dealing with them at the same time, but then also keeping your objective in focus, because the objectives are all different on what you're trying to do.
So generally, like once you fill up a row and you reach the Eternals and you've unlocked an Eternal, you do the same kind of thing as you do with the river. You unlock you clear it. So you unlock the Eternal, put it up on the top, you take their deck, put it under yours, and then you clear the row. And then if let's say you took the middle Eternal, you're going to shift the other one over into its spot. So now you have, let's say the row had 4 available card slots. Well, now it has 5. So now you have to fill that up again.
But there's one more.
But an extra card
that you're going to have to lay down in order to unlock the next Eternal in that one.
And then when you fill it up again, well, then you're going to have like 6 spots you have to lay it in. And so that makes it ever increasingly difficult to keep going because you need to unlock the Eternals, but now you're running out of cards potentially, but you also have to follow the rules. So it makes it very it's very interesting.
It is. And then there are scenarios where the rules for that row will change. So every time you unlock an Eternal, say in the middle row, and then you do the
clear
thing.
it.
You clear the row, and you take the cards, put them under yours. You put the Eternal up top. Now and then shuffle all the other remaining Eternals to the right, making that distance between the rule card and the Eternals longer, which is already a pain. But then the rule for that row can change depending on your scenario.
There's another one.
They'll make you drop or take a card off the top and put it there.
Now you have a new
and now
rule.
you have a whole different rule set for that row. It could be a completely different from what you were dealing with before, which can be really, really
tough,
difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how this works.
And as you like unlock the Eternals, then you'll be collecting keys. And that's going to get you to kind of win the game, but it all depends on what your scenario stipulations are.
Yeah, you just have to read the scenario because they're quite
all
different,
yeah.
right? So, and it tells you like you collect 4 keys or do this or do that, and then you win. And the second you've accomplished that, it doesn't matter how far along you are in anything. It doesn't, the second you've accomplished your goal, you win that scenario.
Right.
And that's kind of how this game works. I don't think I can go much further than that. Hopefully that makes some sense.
Yep.
And
they just get more difficult as you go.
Yes.
Yeah, and you like finish a stage, and then you move on to the next one, and yeah.
And they can be tricky.
Yep.
So let's revisit the theme. Does the theme lend well?
It's very
the theme doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's a card game. It's
It's a card game with I like the theme. I like what they're doing here with the different kind of like Greek sort of. Well, it's not even Greek.
It's not Greek.
There's Medusa.
Yeah, but there's all sorts of ones.
But then there's
right?
the Mummy and there's Dracula
and it's all sorts of
Kraken and
all sorts of myths.
Sirens.
Yeah, I think
Phoenix.
that.
But I like them.
Yes,
they're cool. It's a good theme. I like it on top, and it.
And maybe it would have come through more with an English rule book. Like
perhaps.
So I'm gonna caveat that, but it's
And if we goofed up any of the rules, then apologies. I don't think we did.
I think we did pretty well.
We got there for sure.
Yeah.
So the theme's fine for what it is. Cool. Well, the theme, it does lend well to. No, it doesn't. It's that the choice of theme then made the artwork.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So let's talk about the artwork. Because of the theme that they chose, they went and they got to do some really fantastic artwork with all these different.
The style they used was really cool.
Beasts, right?
Yeah.
With the style, it's almost
and the
it's
board,
very tribally.
Well, the board is black with like white, right? So it's a very dark board, and then you've got all the different colors, all the colors on the board,
top.
Which are lovely. The rule cards are kind of dark as well, so like black on black almost. And then with the Eternals, when they're set up on the board, they've got kind of a light purple background with the black Eternal, and then when you
flip them
face
over,
up, it's a black background with a very vibrant
colors,
bright Eternal. So it looks beautiful on the board.
It does. So that really, the artwork did really well because of the theme that they chose.
And all the cards have different artwork on them too. And it's very
tons
good.
And tons of artwork. It's very tribally. It's almost like
tattoos.
Tattoo. Yeah, it's almost like
like Moana.
Yeah, I was going to say Polynesian tattoos, right?
Yeah.
That's very close to what this style is looking like. Yeah, like exactly Maui's tattoos. Moana, that type of thing, right? The artwork is great. So I'm glad they picked the theme that they did because I like all these characters that they did with the artwork. Cool. The components are awesome. The fabric board is really, really nice. It rolls up and makes this game pack into a much smaller box than it would have if this was cardboard.
It folds up and it lays flat. Like when it doesn't crease
because it's almost like silk.
Yeah, it's
so
really nice,
thin and soft and like it doesn't crease.
It doesn't roll at the edges either. Like you're not.
It just lays there like a
board.
Yeah, it's really really nice. The cards are really good card stock.
Nice chunky wooden.
Chunky wooden
chits, I guess.
Stuff.
Like
tokens.
Tokens. Yeah.
And there's cardboard.
They have really good player aids.
but they're French.
We can't use because they're in French.
Yep.
But they are really nice.
They are.
And lots of cards. Lots and lots
So
you've got lots of different Eternals. You've got lots of different options and lots of gameplay variability.
When the English version of this game makes its way this way, we'll probably buy an English version of this and then maybe try to sell this to someone who speaks French.
Yeah.
But for now, this worked really, really well.
Yeah.
And the rule book was good.
The rule book was good. Yeah. It was just painful trying to read it on screen.
Yep.
And not so much read it on screen, but having to go back and reference things. You
having
can't
to
flip through it is
up,
nice.
Up, you know, to find something was just a pain. But it was worth it.
It definitely was,
because when it comes down to whether or not we recommend this game, and if so, who for, I love this.
This is a great game.
I recommend this for pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a puzzle. It's
and the
fascinating. It's so addictingly cool.
And I gotta say, because a lot of people, not a lot of people, sorry, that was the wrong phrase, but people who don't like the no communication or limited communication games, this one is actually not bad.
No, because we talk the whole time. We just can't say specifics.
We're talking the whole time, but we're not talking about what cards we have and whatever. And and the communication discs work really well because they're not. A lot of times with those games, you have a very finite amount of them, and they're a one-time use. Yeah, and so then you're like, oh, I got to use it very sparingly. But this one you don't. You can put it down, pick it up, put it down, and you have two of them. Like, oh, I want to go here.
Yeah.
And so you are communicating about the game in that way.
Yep.
And but then it's just the puzzle. It's just a puzzle. And
it's a puzzle.
It's really fun. And so
really cool.
Even if you don't like the less communication games or no communication, this one is not like that.
No.
So it has that element, but it's not. It's not bad.
That's not something to be worried about at all.
No.
This game works so well, and it's such a cool design.
Yeah.
And all the different scenarios are individually cool. I can't say enough good things about this. I absolutely love this game. And this it's like limitless. You can just keep making new scenarios for this. They just
have this like huge scenario book. That's yeah.
It literally is Eternal Decks. This you could just who's it, Pixie Games?
Yeah.
Could just make scenario stuff available for you to download or whatever. Come out
with potentially just more Eternal Decks if they want.
Yeah, they could exactly. You could do like upgrade or not upgrade, but like just additional content packs. You know, where it's just like here's 2 new Eternals,
right? Yeah, like here.
But you could do it in like blister packs almost. Yeah, where it's like here's a pack with 2 new Eternals in it and and 3 new rule cards.
Yeah.
For you to and just like
scenarios.
You could just do this. So like you could do so much with this game.
Yeah.
I loved it. If this game would have been super duper high on my list from last year, and it's gonna be high on my list this year.
Yeah. This is a great game.
Know this game is fantastic. So
but
you'll be hearing more about this game down the line for sure. Highly, highly, highly recommend Eternal Decks, even the French version.
Yep.
If they have it at Board Game Bliss, it's probably sold out by this point. That's where we got our copy.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's worth, if you speak English, it's worth getting the French edition and going on BGG and getting the English rules there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that. Eternal Decks is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to call this an episode. You can find us on X at Meeple Dungeon. Same thing with Blue Sky and Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. And if you want to contact us, it's the meepledungeon@gmail.com. So I think we're going to run. And we will see you in the next episode. Cheers.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.